Alright, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we like to begin this lesson by giving all glory, all honor, and all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Ruach HaKodash, giving double honors double unto the apostles and elders of great millstone who surely do rule well. To the men standing by the highways and byways pushing this doctrine, we like to say Shalom. And even unto the sincere awkward, the sisters who sit listening these lessons in silence, subjection, and obedience unto their husbands, we like to say Shalom.
Shalom.
At a couple of brothers here gathered together from the heroes of Yahushua, brother
Hanana.
and the brother Maya Shara. And the topic we wanted to get into today, Lord's will, in this lesson be edifying, is 7 prophetic visions we, and I say we as in this generation, shall see in our lifetime. So before you die, before I die, and before everybody in this generation dies, you are going to see these prophecies come to pass.
Before we start, repent,
For the kingdom of heaven is at hand. But what we understand is this, right? Before we get into these 7 prophetic visions, we have to understand the mindset that all people are currently in is the fact that they have a spirit of disbelief on them, right? They don't believe that anything we say is going to happen, but we promise you, you will see it in this lifetime. It's 2 Peter 3 and from verse 3, if you could start.
I read from 2. That he may be mindful of the words which were spoken before by the holy prophets,
Ouch.
and the commandment of us, the apostles of the Lord and Savior, Yahushua Mashiach. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers walking after their own lust, and saying, what is the promise of, so like, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continued as they were from the beginning of the creation.
And going into
Beginning
this
of the
word,
creation,
huh?
Torah.
Right, going into this word here, scoffer, it goes into the the Greek word from the Greek Strong's 1703. Empahites, Salakia, right? A mocker, scoffer, right? Right, going into the Strong's Greek 1702, to play with, trifle with, mock, delude, deceive. To jeer, that is deride or mock. So these people not taking nothing we saying seriously, right? And again, this is a spirit that is amongst our people. If you give me Matthew 24, Salak.
I saw there for that too.
Yes.
Yeah, and Ezekiel, the 33rd chapter, and verse 30.
33.
Oh,
Oh, you're going from 30.
You see, Ezekiel 33 and verse 30. Also, thou son of man, the children of thy people are still talking against thee by the walls and in the doors of the houses, and speaking one to another, everyone to his brother, saying, come, I pray you, and hear what is the word that cometh from Yahweh. And they come unto thee as a people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people, and they hear thy words, but they will not do them.
Right, so they don't believe. Again, hearing this word and believing it is synonymous with action. Habakkuk 2. He may run that readeth it. Right? But are these people running? Are these people showing any signs that they believe what we say? No, they're not. Go ahead.
But their heart goeth after their own covetousness.
Exactly.
And lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song, as one that had a pleasant voice and can play well on an instrument, for they hear thy words, but they do them not.
Right, then. Verse 33.
And when this come to pass,
when these signs and these prophetic visions and these prophecies we've been warning you all about, right, come to pass,
lo, it will come.
It will come.
Then shall they know that a prophet had been among them.
Right? So now if you could give me the book of Matthew 24 and verse 34.
The book of Matthew chapter 24 and 34. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled.
So who is these prophecies geared towards, and who is the ones who was set to see these things come to pass? Is the people who live in life right now. I'm telling you, these revelation type, apocalyptic type prophecies, we're gonna see them happen in our lifetime. I even wanna say, because ultimately we've seen 7 prophetic visions here. I believe we could break this up into part 1 and part 2. We discussed 4 now, 3 in the next part. But what we understand is what? It's not only prophetic visions, It have other visions as well this generation is going to see. it's not only all of them are prophetic visions, but these visions I want to go into really, discuss the scary type of visions, the scary type of prophecies we're gonna have to live through. 2 Ezra 16, verse 17. Woe is me, woe is me, who shall deliver me in those days? So I like to call this one the World War III edition. The war is in the air type kind of vibe, right? If you could give me a time.
Read verse 35.
35 as well, can. Heaven and earth shall pass away with a great noise, as the scriptures say, which is what, as a result of the nuclear destruction, this heaven and this earth going to be done away with, right? But my words shall not pass away.
So what they must be fulfilled, that the scriptures say, lo, I come in the volume of the book, it is written of me,
Right.
to do thy will, O my power.
Right.
So everything that is said in this book must come to pass. A good majority of it don't happen. I want our doesn't understand with Jake and with people in general. Like, you see the Lord say, you go do this, he do this, but the rest of things he not going to do.
Apostle Tar say it in, not the last work, so that been the works previous to that, on the Apostles page, the Apostles Street Ministry. So yes, yesterday was Saturday, right? The last week Saturday, he would have said it. We living in the time of revelation, in the sense to say that a lot of what was written in Revelation has already come to pass. Is not Revelation the last book in the Bible?
But one was past, and the only second will come quickly. The second was past, and behold, the third will come quickly.
So what we
Two
live
was
in,
on past, man.
right? We living in the time of World War III, right? But what does that bring, right? Before we get into that, if you could hold Habakkuk 2, right? From 1. And then we tell verse 3.
Oh, I could. Habakkuk 2 and 1. I will stand up on my watch and set me upon the tower. I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what shall I answer when I am reproved. And Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it.
So be able to explain what it is you're writing, right? Because as a result of it being made clear to the people who read it, right, they're going to see an action come from them. Go ahead.
For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak.
And we living in the end. We living in the time where these visions will now speak.
Because
They're going to see these visions in real life. Go ahead.
When it says speak, I think not going to be declared or be done. But let's get our word speak read first. Habakkuk 2 and 2. Grab 3 and 3, verse 3. So I'll go on. My apologies.
Yeah, go ahead.
But at the end it shall speak and not lie. They will tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry.
So again, we living in the time where these visions will not tarry, but we will live to see them. We will live through them. Lord willing, we be a part of the elect. And if you can, the book of Joel 1 and read from verse 1 by Wakasha. Because again, this disbelief spirit among the nation of Israel is rampant. Right? We're gonna go to Ezekiel 12 after this. Right? And then we're gonna get into some of these prophetic visions, right? Lord willing, you be edified.
Joel 1 and 1, the word of Yahweh that came to Joel the son of Pethuel. Hear this, ye old men, and give ear, all ye all ye inhabitants of the land. Had this been in your days, even the days of your fathers.
As what these visions, these things that we speaking about. Go ahead.
Tell ye your children of it. So like, tell ye your children of it, and let your children tell their children, and their children another generation.
Exactly. There's a common proverb and byword that happened in the nation of Israel in these last days. I hear about what this way you're talking about since my grandmother and my great grandmother. Long people talking about this, long people saying this. But what? More than saying, now we're gonna see it. And we have seen it, right? If you're watching this war going on with USA and Iran, with this whole Strait of Hormuz, as a result of those actions that being taken in which the Lord stirring up all like Zephaniah 3 verses 8 and 9, he wants to gather them to the valley of Yehoshaphat, right? To pour upon them his wrath, even all his fierce indignation, right? For the whole earth shall be devoured with the fire of his jealousy. We live in the time when we see the Lord working our working we days will be told unto us, right? We believe it, but they do not. We're going to see the result of what the Lord has said and what the Lord desires to do in the earth today. Go ahead. That's something? If you could give me a time.
Ezekiel 12.
Ezekiel 12. Just to deal with this disbelief spirit, right?
Ezekiel 12 and 21. And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, what is that proverb that he have in the land of Israel, saying the days are prolonged and every vision feel it.
So we're not seeing these things coming to pass. So you're saying it's gonna happen, but we're not seeing it. So we don't believe you all. Go ahead.
Tell them therefore, thus saith Adonai Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yoshai, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel. But say unto them, the days are at hand, and the effect of every vision.
Right, so the days are at hand, right? So the time will come when you will see these visions come to pass. Go ahead.
For there shall be no more any vain vision, nor flattering divination within the house of Israel. For I am Yahweh, I will speak, and the word that I shall speak shall come to pass. It shall be no more prolonged for you in your days.
For in your days.
So like for in your days, O rebellious house, will I say the word and will perform it, saith Adonai Yahweh.
So Yahweh is promising to do what it is he said he was going to do. Go ahead.
Verse 26, I gave the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, behold, they of the house of Israel say the vision that he sees is for many days to come, and he prophesied of times that are far off. Therefore say unto them, thus saith Adonai Yahweh, there shall none of my words be prolonged any more, but the word which I have spoken shall be done, saith Adonai Yahweh.
Exactly, right? So the things which the Most High said is going to be done is going to be done. We are living in the time, days it could go back to meaning time. The time is at hand where what the Lord will perform these visions, right? Now, what is the first prophetic vision that we have identified that we are going to see in this lifetime? Right, if you could hold Revelation 13:16 for me, brother. Because now what? Where's the first prophetic vision that we truly believe we are going to see in these last days, and this generation is set to see this? This is the generation where all these things that are written are going to be fulfilled. You could give me Revelation 13 verse 16.
Revelation 13, and are you from 15?
Can.
And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he caused it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Yes, wisdom, let him that had understanding count
the number of the beast, yeah?
the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
Right? We believe, we have faith, and we ultimately see in the earth today that moves are being made by the beast system, the people that rule, right? The rulership, because that's what the beast really speaks about. It speaks about a rulership, a system in the earth of governance, ruled or controlled by the so-called white man, or we know him biblically as the Edomite, right? And we telling you that that system is set to roll out what you all know as that Revelation 13:16, that mark that you must receive in your right hand or in your forehead. And that what? You ain't going to be able to buy or sell, which is synonymous with what, when you break it down, exists. We believe this generation shall see the time where not only the mark of the beast is going to roll out, but also the conditions that are going to be apparent in the earth surrounding the implementation of the mark of the beast. Because believe it or not, the mark of the beast is already in the earth. It's what you all know as the RFID, micro chip, right? But the mass mandation of it, where it is forced upon all flesh, we are telling you that you all are going to see that prophecy in this lifetime. Because the mark of the beast has already come to pass and it's already in the earth. But the mass mandation and mass implementation of it, that part of prophecy, you all are going to see in this lifetime. If you could give me a second and just 16 and verse 40.
Look at 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 40. O my people, hear my word, make you ready to the battle, and those evils So I can in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth.
Even as pilgrims upon the earth, right? That time where, because again we understand the martyrdom part of the prophecy, because when you read Revelation 14, when you read Revelation 20, it makes mention of those who were beheaded for the witness of Mashiach, and who loved not their lives unto death, and who were martyred because they didn't worship the beast or his image, and they did not receive his mark. We are telling you that time is upon us in the earth today. If you could jump down to verse 70 in this same chapter.
And sometimes I do quick before I jump onto that.
Right.
Actually, I'll go back to that. The second is verse 16 and verse 17. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. They shall be like madmen sparing none, but says spoiling and destroying those that fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall it be known who am I chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire.
Right.
Yea, O ye my beloved, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for power is your guide.
Right, for Yahweh is our guide, right? But when reading from 70 straight down to verse 73, it speaks about what the coming tribulation upon the face of the earth that is going to cause people to have to or want to take this mark of the beast. That same trip, yeah, go ahead.
Ephesians 5 from verse 14. Ephesians 5 from verse 14. Wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and a Mashiach shall give thee light.
So be vigilant, be circumspect, wake up and realize you're on shit. Yeah.
See then that he walks circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise.
Right.
Redeeming the time, because
the days are evil. Redeeming the time, because the days are evil. And we living in the evil days. We're going to live to see all the tribulation that is surrounded with this prophecy. If you could give me Acts 14:22. If I precept here for you.
The book of Acts chapter 14 and verse 22. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of Yahweh.
Right, exactly. So what you're not going to enter into the kingdom lest you go through the tribulation it takes to get there. The second is just
second perfect example of that.
Can. And if you give if you hold this precept as well, I'm going to read it. 2 Esdras 15:17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
And
that 15:17. Because what? He's not going to be able. But why isn't he going to be able? Because what? Lord willing, that man be a part or a man of Yahweh, then shall they know who am I chosen. When the tribulation starts and the insurrection and the persecution starts, what? He won't take the mark of the beast. So you are going to be what? As I said, be pilgrims in the earth. You are going to be a social outcast. We're going to live in that time, God.
Okay, in that time, you can be as you would say, you can serve power and mammon.
Exactly.
You can serve Yahweh and mammon. Say, I pick a side. I'm going to say how to pick a side.
Your sides have been chosen for you. You just have to align with your side now.
As the prophet Joshua say,
choose ye this day whom you will serve.
But so me and my household will serve Yahweh.
Exactly.
It's not really a choice. You Lord set you to that. So in that day, the Lord picking his side and the rest of it,
it's going to be fuel for the fire. Exactly.
The scripture says, if your flesh shall be fuel for the fire.
And what? We're speaking about this tribulation, right? If you could give me, I think it's Revelation 7 and 14.
Yeah, 14, 7 and 14. It's 6, right? This is what they that came out of the
tribulation, right? And why was the times it was in so troublesome or so full of tribulation? Because of the madness that we are set to see implemented upon the face of the earth. The Strait of Hormuz closing and this war between America and Iran is just the catalyst. But there's many more evils to come. Go ahead.
I said I'm reading from Revelation 6 real quick, right? Revelation 6 and verse 3. And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, Come and see. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. Lazy period we in right now.
Where he's going to pull out his great sword, that furbished sword, right? And what he's going to use it upon the face of the earth. And what is that going to bring again? It's going to bring about Jacob's trouble and societal collapse.
As the Lord said, I will deliver these 6 troubles, yet the 7th shall not come nigh thee. This is the 6th trouble.
Right. And we are going to see this Jeremiah 30 and verse 7 precept in our lifetime. If you could read from verse 4, Babu Kasha.
Jeremiah 30 and verse 4. And these are the words that Yahweh spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah, so the whole house. For thus saith Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, I have heard a voice of trembling and of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now and see what I man do travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail? Our faces are turned into paleness. Alas, for that day is great.
For that day, that time is great.
So and none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it.
We are going to see the days of Jeremiah 30 and verse 7. That is for this generation.
I will tell you that I go back to Revelation 7:14 that I time yapa. Revelation 7, from 13. And one of the elders answered, saying unto me, What are these which are arrayed in white robes, and whence came they? And I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said unto me, These are they which came out of great tribulation, which is Jacob's trouble, which I just spoken of. These, and have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of Hamashiach.
In the blood of Hamashiach. Right, if you could give me a second or just 5 on from verse 1.
The second is just 5 and 1. Nevertheless, as come in the tokens, behold, the days shall come, that they in great the days shall come, that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith.
Go ahead. Read till verse 3.
But iniquity shall increase above that which now thou seest. So imagine how wicked the world is now, and you're worse than that.
Can.
As I wish I said, time never before seen, and nothing in history can compare to the shit we about to see now.
Can.
And so all that thou hast heard long ago, the land that thou seest now to have root, shall thou see wasted suddenly.
We are going to see the societal collapse of the nations of the earth. The book of 2nd is just 15, and I'm reading from verse 14.
15, sorry.
Yeah, 15. Right. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. So civil unrest and civil war. For there shall be sedition amongst men. When you go into the word sedition, it goes into are rising up against the government or the rulers of a nation.
The scripture say to them, not going to regard the kings or the princes. The same chapter, but they say that.
I believe so.
Let's see.
see.
Yeah, I say next one. Keep reading.
Can. Sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings or the rulers, the princes, the men who they gave power over them.
Prime ministers, the president.
Exactly.
The military and all them. Fuck all of them.
Right.
You care about that.
Yeah. And the course of their action shall stand in their own power. Where it is when you go into the word, I believe it's spoken about in Luke. The great perplexity. Wax, no. Not knowing which to choose. Matthew 24, the love of many shall wax cold. And when you go into that wax cold, in the Greek it goes into psycho. We are going to see the psycho days of the nation, right? Of the nations of the earth, verse 17. And man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, right? We spoke about, the mark of the beast being a big part to play in this, but also the wars. If you living in one city and when you hearing about the city is only death, killings, and destruction, you're not gonna want to go into there, right? You're not gonna be able for what? For fear of death. Deuteronomy 28. Thou shalt say, would power it were even, and at even thou shalt say, would power it were morning, thou shalt have no assurance of thy life.
Because, well, I like to believe it or not, he still is captives and slaves to this day. So Deuteronomy 28 and done.
Yeah, the curses still apply.
Curses still apply.
If it don't apply, let it fly. But what? Deuteronomy 28 ain't flying yet. 2 Ezra 15 and verse 18. For because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, for great tribulation. I'm telling you, we are going to see the days of great tribulation. In the book of Revelation 12 and verse 12, if you could read it.
Revelation 12 and verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time.
And the short time that the devil still has in the earth today, we are going to see what he plans to do with it, which is what? Unleash havoc and mayhem in the earth, right? And what we are going to suffer as a result of it. Why? It is judgment for our sins. We can give me Ezekiel 9.
You look at Ezekiel from verse 1, eh?
Yeah. We can read the whole chapter.
Okay. You look at Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 1.
Right.
Cried also in mine ears with a loud voice, saying, cause them that have charge over the city to draw near,
Can.
even every man with his destroying weapon in his hand. And behold, 6 men from the way of the higher gate, which lie toward the north, and every man is slaughter weapon in his hand.
Now these men are speaking of angels. Think Revelation 7, where these men had charge over the winds, which they were holding right over the earth.
Destruction.
And the winds represented the destruction. Jeremiah 51 and verse 1, the destroying wind, right? And what? They held it back until they did what? Until they seal the servants of our power in their foreheads, and then they unleash the destruction. The weapons or destroying weapons they have in the hand is what the means through which they're able to unleash destruction in the earth. Think Sirach 39, teeth of wild beasts, fire, death, famine, plagues. These angels have power over these things to unleash it in the earth, right? And we are going to see the days where they are going to unleash it in the earth, and what? They're gonna use their destroying weapons and bring the wrath of the Most High Yahweh upon his nation for all that they had done. Go ahead.
Revelation 9 chapter, they say in these plagues is full of the wrath and in his sight.
Right, in these vials, yeah? Yeah. If you give
That's on verse 12.
yeah, go ahead, Salah.
Verse 2. And one man among them was clothed in linen, with a writer's ink on by his side, and they went in and stood beside the brazen altar.
Right, that altar, a place of sacrifice. Go ahead.
And the glory of the power of Israel was gone up from the cherub, whereupon he was to the threshold of the house. And he called to the man clothed with linen, which had the writer's ink on by his side.
This man speaks of Yahushua. Writer's ink on is a writing kit. Why would Yahushua need a writing kit? Well, when you read the scriptures, it makes mention of the Lamb having something we know as the book of life. Where you would do it a book, you would write things in it. Right? So you have record of whatever that is inside of the book of life, and what he's recording it. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 4. And Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that stand that cry, for the abominations that be done
In the midst thereof.
And we know this was for Yahweh too, because what? Revelation in 9 chapter, he was the angel that sealed the servants of the living power. The scripture also said, you know, that seal is referring to the Father name and the Son name and what it stands for.
Right.
Only he had the authority to seal the servants and the living power. So this person here they're talking about would have to be Yahweh.
And he was the one only the Revelation 5 years the only one who was what? Worthy
to loose
the seals. Go ahead.
Verse 5. And to the others he said in mine hand, go ye after him through the city, and smite, Let not your eyes fear, neither have
Have
you
ye
pity.
pity. So
Think
kill
Daniel.
everyone. Good.
Think about Daniel 12 and second verse, first verse. First and second verse, I
Yeah.
believe. He said unto the young and old, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is a mark. And began at my sanctuary, then they began at the ancient men which were before the house.
So we gotta understand here. See, he has just put our hit out. The Most High has just put our hit out on every demographic of people they could find in here. This includes your kings, your rulers, your celebrities, your mighty men, and what the everyday average Joe, from the old elderly man straight down to the babies, kill every last one of them who does not have that mark of exemption upon their foreheads.
Case in point, he said, "Jenny be soon. Anybody who take him mark, he looking to kill. Anybody who not the mark of the Lord, he looking to kill."
Can.
Verse 7. And he said unto them, defile the house.
Oh, and so like every demographic of people, it also speaks to every nation of people. But what they began the destruction and the judgment of Yahweh at who? At the people. We know judgment must first begin at what?
The
At the
house
house
of
of
the Lord.
Yahweh. Go ahead.
And he said unto them, defile the house, and fill the courts with the slain, go ye forth. And then they went forth and slew in the city. It came to pass while he was slaying them, and I was left, that I fell upon my face and cried and said, I don't want Yahweh, when thou destroy all the residue of Israel, and thy pouring out of thy fury upon Jerusalem. That we know, it's referring to the Israelites first, but what upon Israel, the residue of Israel in Jerusalem.
Okay.
And said he unto me, the iniquity of the house of Israel and Judah is exceeding great,
Right.
and the land is full of blood,
Can.
and the city full of perverseness. For they say, Yahweh had forsaken the earth, and Yahweh seeth not.
So they don't believe there is a God, or if he is real, right, they don't believe he pays any mind or any attention to the goings on of the earth. But they're wrong. Go ahead.
And verse 10, and as from you also mine eye shall not spare, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense their way upon their head. And behold, a man clothed with the linen which had the inkhorn by his side reported the matter, saying,
I have done
as thou hast commanded me. Same thing I will show us, so we know this is the show.
exactly. So what we understand here, that we living in the days where we're going to see the trouble for the nation of Israel, Jacob's trouble. We are going to see that, right? We're going to see the great tribulation that is coming upon the face of the earth. But what does that mean?
And I want more verse really quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead,
It's
go ahead.
Daniel 12 and 1.
Oh, yeah, sorry. You had that precept, so like, yeah.
At that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. At that time, a people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book.
Can. If you could give me now, because where's our next vision we're going to see play off in the earth. One of my favorites I like to talk about, everybody like to say, well, nah, boy, that's not going to happen in your lifetime, you're never going to do that, is the missiles. You are going to see the nuclear destruction of Babylon. These missiles were created to be used, and they are going to be used. If you could give me a second, it's just 16 from verse 3.
The second is 16 and 3. The sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? The fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away?
Can.
May any man drive away an hungry lion in the wood, or may anyone quench a fire in the stubble when it hath begun to burn? May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer? The mighty power Yahweh sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away?
So you can't stop these plagues, but we know these plagues are. We're going to get in Zechariah 14:12 what these plagues are. Go ahead.
The fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yoshai shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? The earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof. The sea ariseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled. The fish thereof also before Yahweh, and before the glory of his power.
Can.
For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss. When they began to be shot into the ends of the world.
What are talking about? The nuclear missiles. Go ahead.
Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Because an arrow which is shot of a mighty arch shall return not backward. Even so, the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not
Return again. Right? So it's not like they're going to be shot and then they're going to stop in the middle of being shot and then just not blow up. No. These missiles were created to be used and they are going to be used. These are the weapons of the Lord's indignation. If you could give me Zechariah 14:12.
Joel and 3rd chapter says as well. The second
Second,
chapter
as well.
Leviticus,
Second, that's all.
Is
Zechariah 14:12.
12. 14 and 12, yeah. Zechariah 14 and 12. And they shall be the plague wherewith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth.
Go ahead. Oh no, sorry, right. That is the whole point there. Because what we are going to see the results of a nuclear blast in the earth. Right? We are going to see the means through which the Lord decides or has predetermined that what he will destroy Babylon. Right? And you're also going to have some other zones in the earth he wants to strike. We know our motherland being one of them. Again, we 2nd Ezra 5 verse 3, you're going to see the land wasted. The land that thou seest now shall be laid waste and desolate. We are going to see that in this lifetime.
It's, Psalms 91st chapter. We're going for Joel.
Joel 2.
Joel 2 and from verse 2. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. There had not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even unto the years of many generations.
Now, when we go into this chapter, we're going to see the speaking about the missiles, but it being likened unto what? Unto a human army. But when you see the characteristics of this human army, we know this could never be speaking about no men. Go ahead.
The fire devoured before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yeah, nothing shall escape them. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. Like as the noise of chariots upon the tops of mountains shall they leap, and the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array.
So what every man in the order and in the rank, when you read verse 4, it talks about the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses. We know horses symbolic of what? Strength and power. Is there anything more strong or anything more powerful in this earth today than the destructive power of a nuclear missile? I think not. Go ahead.
Then shall they run like mighty men, they shall climb the wall like men of war. They shall march everyone in his ways, and they shall not break their ranks.
Exactly. So they're not going to fall on each other and hit each other. No.
And mash up in this kind of
all that. The GPS system that is built into these missiles, which they think is GPS, but it's really the Spirit of the Lord when you go to that Revelation chapter 9, right? Is that what the Lord is going to be guiding these missiles to hit exactly where he wants hit.
This is purpose, which you have purpose upon Babylon.
Right.
Verse 8, neither shall one trust another, they shall walk everyone in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded.
Exactly. Do you know any human soldier that could fall upon a sword or any destructive instrument or killing instrument and not die? Falling meaning what? Succumbing to it. If you load up an AR-15 and light a man, you think he could live? And now, ultimately, we know all things possible with the Most High. John lived, they tried to kill him a lot of times. Simeon Toko lived, they tried to kill him a lot of times. But except it be that the Lord will it, those are very good and surefire means of putting a man to death, right? So how is it these things not dying? These soldiers not dying when they're falling upon the sword? And they're not even wounded? No, because they are going to destroy the sword. Nothing shall escape these things. These nuclear missiles are going to torch and scorch everything. Go ahead.
Keep going.
Yeah. Retail verse 11.
Verse 9, they shall run to and fro in the city. And that's how we know they're talking about
Missiles.
Talking about missiles too, but what we know this will be guided by the angels too, because what Satan would say. The Lord asked him where he was, and he said, well, he went to and fro. Say, you now come back from where going to and fro in the earth.
Exactly. Yep.
They shall run up on the wall, they shall climb up on the houses, they shall enter in at the windows like a thief.
Can.
The earth shall quake before them, the heavens shall tremble, the sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining.
Which are all results of a nuclear blast. That nuclear blast will cause an earthquake.
It's called the
Mushroom cloud will ascend, block out the clouds, block out the sun, and the moon.
The stars.
Right.
And Yahweh Bashem Yoshai shall utter his voice before his army.
These are part of his army.
For his camp is very great, for he is strong that executed his word. For the day of Yahweh Bashem Yoshai is great and very terrible,
and who can abide in it? So exactly. So we are living in a time where we're gonna see this Joel chapter 2 precept take place in the earth. If you give me Revelation 9, and we could jump to Psalms 91 as well for full proof that this is going to be something that is going to be witnessed by people, right? Well, Revelation 9 from
verse 14, I believe it is.
15.
15 to what? The four angels were loose, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year, which is just
a period of time.
Must a period of time, for to see the third part of men.
Right.
And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, so 200 million. I heard the number of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know the elect is a serious number, but you cannot count that, but you couldn't count the elect. And that's how I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire and of jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses was the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone. By these three was the third part of men killed, by the fire, by the smoke, and by the brimstone which issued out of their mouths.
For their what?
For their power is in their mouth and in their tears, for their tears were like unto serpents and had heads, and with them they did hurt.
And what they are going to be pained to see these missiles, right? These missiles are going to cause a whole load of pain. Scriptures make mention of, and they blaspheme power because of the hailstones, and each one of the hailstones had the weight of about a talent, right? So what we are going to live in a time, or what we are going to witness, the destruction of Babylon, and what the use of these nuclear missiles.
And that is why I'm blessed enough to see that.
See it as an elect, because some men can see it dying, and some men can see it being saved out of it.
Some men can see it up close and personal. They don't be that close to that. They don't see it, but not that close.
Yeah, if you could get Psalms 91, and we could read from verse 1 till verse 9.
We look at Psalm chapter 91 and verse 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of Yahweh Bashem Yoshai, he is my refuge and my fortress, my power, in him will I trust. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence.
You will be delivered from the nuclear destruction, Lord willing. You be a part of the elect, right?
He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shall thou trust. His truth shall be as thy shield and buckler. The scripture says, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and the strength of thy salvation.
Scripture said money is a defense, and what wisdom is a defense. Right.
Yahweh Bashem Yoshai is his treasure.
Right.
Verse 6. Verse
5.
Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, or for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand,
but it shall not come nigh thee. And now verse 8 is the real kicker here, because again what we see in 7 prophetic visions, this generation shall see. Right, go ahead.
I will tell you that.
Done.
Verse 8, only with thine eyes shall thou see, and shall thou behold and
see the reward of the wicked.
Because thou hast made Yahweh Bashem Yoshai, which is my refuge, even the Most High thy habitation. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling, for he shall give his angels
charge over thee
to keep thee in all the ways. So Yahweh shall say, He gonna give the angels what charge to go for elect from what the four
corners of the earth, which are glad that they bring up that precept, because now why that so Yapa? As a result,
This one verse 12 repeat.
can
They shall bear thee up in their hands as thou dash
thy foot against a stone. Right? Now why is that so Yapa where you just said about Yahushua sending his angels to deliver his elect from this nuclear destruction? It's because not only are we going to see the mark of the beast, not only are we going to see the coming tribulation and societal collapse that the mark of the beast is going to be ushered in by, but is also going to usher in, not only are we going to see the missiles, which is the judgment for taking the mark of the beast, but we also going to see what? Right, but not only do we have to behold the reward of the wicked, Lord willing, we be a part of the elect and we're going to see it. Lord willing, we get to see it from a very advantageous position, as we know the elect will see it from. Right? Come up hither, as the scriptures say, be not partakers of our plagues, right? That you receive not, sorry, be not partakers of our iniquities, that you receive not of our plagues. Right? But we also going to see the man who has to witness this, Yahushua. This generation is the very said generation that is going to see the return of the Son of Man. Ultimately, we know why, because he has to see the judgment of this place. Go ahead.
Because what one of the favorite thing you all time is like to say, how long them telling me you know who coming back?
You know who is out there say?
Yeah, no, they say, how long them telling me a pig coming back? How I even come yet? How I even come yet? That man ain't coming.
He's not coming back. Everybody is going to see the Lord Yahushua
Try come back.
all I shall see. Give me a Revelation 14:9. We could begin how we now end the last point. He must see the recompense and the reward of the wicked as well. Right? So if he has to see it and we have to see it, we're going to see him seeing it. Go ahead.
Read from it.
Can.
Revelation 14:8. And they followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations to drink of the wine of the wrath
Out of her fornication.
And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb.
And in the presence of the Lamb. So the Lamb has to be here to witness the judgment of this place. The elect also has to see the judgment of this place. Ergo, the elect must see Yahushua. If they made Matthew 16:28. This is the very said generation where we truly and honestly believe we will see the Lord of Lords and King of Kings make his triumphant return to this place. Go ahead.
Are you from 27?
Can.
Matthew 16:27, for the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then he shall reward every man according to his works.
So
and
there's
I say that Revelation, the Lord coming to reward every man according to his works shall be.
Right, so there's a righteous reward for righteous works, and there's an evil reward for wicked works. Yahushua is going to dispense both equally. Right? Or as many as he has to give. He has righteous rewards for a certain number of men, and he has evil rewards for a certain number of men. Right? Lord willing, you receive the righteous reward if you take heed to these words. Go ahead.
In verse 28, for I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not taste of death till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom.
There be some standing here who he talking to right now, which will not taste of death till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. The Son of Man coming, is that not a prophecy? Revelation 1:7. But let me just get into this real quick. How are those men who was alive 2,000 years ago and are now dead going to see Yahushua now? Reincarnation. That is the only way that makes sense, and that is the only way that precept could work. Right? And what he said, this generation, this exact one, is the one that's going to see Yahushua, the same ones who was with him 2,000 years ago. But go ahead. Revelation 1:7.
Book of Revelation, chapter 1, and verse 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen.
Even so, but what? All eyes. Sorry, not all eyes. Every eye shall see him. Everyone is going to see the Son of Man return. Where it is every knee should bow and every tongue should confess that Yahweh Shai Mashiach is Lord to the glory of the Father Yahweh. Right? How is everyone going to confess that lest they see him or lest they are aware that he has made his appearance and his triumph when he came to the earth? Everyone, game recognized, game, whether I use game or not, you're going to acknowledge Yahweh Shai. Acknowledge him. Right? So we living in a time and we living in a generation and a time period in life where we will see the Son of Man return to the earth, believe it or not, if you give me it. Because more than we're gonna see him, we have to look for him. Second Ezra 2:34.
The book of Second Ezra, chapter 2 and verse 34.
Right?
And therefore I say unto you, O ye heathen, that hear and understand.
That hear and understand. So this has to be talking about the nation of Israel, the only nation that was given understanding. Go ahead.
Look for your shepherd, and you know this will be referring to, say, you know this man only have to refer to the children of Israel, because what? Throughout the scriptures, you need people that are referred to as sheep as Israelites.
Exactly.
They call the whole of Israel the sheep, and he was the shepherd. Yeah, which I say what? Go ye into the city, say, go ye into Israel, and what? Look for what? The lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Exactly.
I love preach unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Right, so what? This gospel is who is for Israelites. Right? And the nation, again, as I said, like unto sheep is the nation of Israel. Sheep need a shepherd. So how this talking about the heathens? It's can't be talking about the heathens, it's talking about the Israelites. It say what? O ye heathen, know ye not that ye were Gentiles, carried away unto these dumb idols?
Even the book of Tobit said that, so I didn't bring that. Tobit 3:13.
I think it's last night he bring it? Or I think it's Tobit.
It's rare bring that piece. I think it's Tobit 3:13. Nah, on it. Sorry, Tobit 13:3.
Okay.
Confess him before the Gentiles, the children of Israel, for he had scattered us among them.
So exactly, nation of Israel could get called Gentiles, right? Because they live in a gentilic state of mind and state of being. Right? If you give me Matthew 24
Matthew 24
and verse 30.
and verse 30. Shall I know what's happening to him?
No, just 30.
That's it. If Matthew 24 and verse 30, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven,
Chariot.
and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn.
Exactly.
And they shall see the Son of Man
And
coming in.
they shall see all the tribes of the earth. Right. First thing, first sentence we see here. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. Colon. So whatever going to be spoken about after is explaining what you just read. So what? I have a list of fruit, and I have a bag of fruit with me, and in that bag of fruit, there you saw, after the word saw, colon, and then you start a list of things. Right.
See, I come and I show and I pause, showing that the sentence is not finished, like listing off our next set of things that will happen.
Right, that tie to the aforementioned statement. So what? And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. When you read Acts 1, would the angels tell the apostles, why stand here gazing up into heaven? Know ye not that the same way you see how shall going up into heaven in like manner shall ye see him return? So come on.
And verse 31 as well, I have more here too.
Yeah, go ahead.
And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to another.
Exactly.
How to see that?
Exactly. With wisdom and Solomon 5. We fools are counted as life madness, always seen numbered among the saints. Right? So what? Not only are we going to see the mark of the beast, not only are we going to see the tribulation, not only are we going to see the judgment for the mark of the beast, we are also going to see the man who has to see all of that as well. Yahweh Shai. Right? If you read Salakia, I tell you, just read 30. But if you read verse 29 as well, that shall be from 27. That's one thing.
Matthew 24 and verse 29, immediately after the tribulation of those days.
So we don't know when Yahushua is coming. But when the tribulation start, the time frame we looking at it, after the tribulation, Yahushua closed because of what? Immediately after the tribulation of those days, then you're gonna see the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, coming with the clouds of heaven, power and great glory.
And Apostle Taha say, we have months left here. Exactly. And Apostle Taha say, we have months left here.
Exactly. We're looking at what? World War III, but before World War III, the mark of the beast getting implemented in the earth. World War III starting the tribulation, the famines, the plagues, the pestilences. Esau coming down with his sword. Then what the mass mandation of taking this mark of the beast. And after all of that, judgment.
Nice. Judgment.
And as I say, suffer for a little bit to forgive me. I believe it's Job 19 and 26.
Job 19 and verse 26. And though after my skin wounds destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I...
Salat. Read from
I from 20.
God.
See if I read from 19. Yeah, 20. Job 19 and 20. My bone cleaveth to my skin and my flesh, and I am escaped with the skin of my teeth. Have pity upon me, O ye my friends, for the hand of power touched me. Why do ye yet persecute me as power, and are not satisfied with my flesh? Or that my words were now written, or that they were printed in a book, that they were graven with an iron pen and laid in the rock forever. For I know that my Redeemer liveth.
And who is his Redeemer? Job is an Israelite. Blessed be Yahweh. No, but sons of God are Israelites.
But we know, like this instance.
Specifically at that time, he was known as a son of God, right? And we know he would have reincarnated to be an Israelite. And we know he reincarnated. He's telling you it here, right? If you read, I know that my Redeemer liveth. Luke 1. Blessed be Yahweh who had visited and redeemed his people. Who was those people? The Israelites.
The scripture says no man will answer your soul unto your enemies, but what no man shall buy.
Right, but
nobody can buy it because it was already redeemed.
Right, and buy as well. But no, sorry, not buy, but no man shall buy thee. We know Yahweh shall not coming back here like no man. Right, Isaiah 47. But go ahead. 25.
And that is the spirit too, because what would Job say? Job say what he writes it in our book. The scripture say what write these things.
Cause these things to be written in paper
for what they are faithful and true. They did true. Job right there. Verse 25. I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand at the latter day upon the earth. And though after my skin wounds destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see power.
Shall I see God? And when you read Isaiah 9, it makes mention of Yahushua being who? The mighty God. He is going to see Yahushua, just like all of us. Go ahead.
Verse 27, whom I shall see for myself, and mine eyes shall behold, and not another, though my reins be consumed with me.
So what Job saying, even after he died in this life, he was going to see Yahushua. Job knew he was coming back. Job knew he was coming back. Right? So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying and that you were edified. In closing, we like to say, Kal Halalem La Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rucha Kodash. I give double honors, double unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, surely do you well. To the men stand by the highways and byways, pushing this doctrine, we like to say Shalom. And even unto the sincere awkward, the sisters who sit listening to these lessons in silence, subjection and obedience unto their husbands, we like to say Shalom. This was a couple of brothers here from the heroes of Yahushai, brother and the brother Maya Shala. Until the next time, we like to say Shalom. Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand.